try those out if you don't want your kids to be little bit.
What is up? Today we're going to go shopping for the best high protein options out there, going down the aisles. We're going to skip the chicken and the eggs, stuff like that. We're going to look at the products that advertise themselves as high protein and decide whether or not they're actually a good source of protein. Some are going to be good and some are going to be pretty much false advertising and just trying to say they have high protein to get your money. We're going to go based off of the protein 10x rule, which means that the calories should be close to the same number as protein times 10. So if something is 100 calories, you should have around 10 grams of protein in it. 10 times 10 is 100. So let's get started. Go ahead and guess in the comments what store you think we're in today.
Start off with the dairy products. They don't really advertise themselves as high protein. There's nothing wrong with fat. If you're trying to up your protein intake and you want to hit that 10x rule, fat-free milk, 9 grams of protein for 90 calories, and whole milk, 150 calories for 8 grams of protein. If you want a dairy product that's like spot on with a 10x rule, fat-free milk, 9 grams of protein, 90 calories. There's Oikos protein yogurt, 160 calories with 25 grams of protein. Oikos 000, 17 grams of protein, 100 calories. That's really good. Those two are really good ratios. They're also loaded with those artificial sweeteners, so if you're trying to avoid those, then you're kind of luck. Whole milk, plain yogurt. It's a little bit worse on the ratio, 14 grams of protein, for 230 calories. It gets real dangerous. It's real sugar and sugar. That's zero fat. You can do zero fat with real sugar, 14 grams of protein, 130 calories. That's spot on for a protein ratio. Now, where it gets dangerous is if you have whole yogurt with sweeteners, added sugars, 11 grams of added sugar, whole Greek yogurt, 6 grams of protein, 160 calories. That would be the worst ratio you're looking at. If you don't care about artificial sweeteners, the Oikos Pro yogurt would be the best way to go. All dairy is going to be pretty similar. Whole cottage cheese. Actually, whole cottage cheese is pretty good. 13 grams of protein, 120 calories. Remember, 10x, 13 times 10 is 130. As long as that number is close to what your total calories are, you're spot on. Fat-free cottage cheese is usually what I get. Honestly, it's because I don't really notice any difference whatsoever. It still tastes great to me. It still works well for like protein cheesecakes and cheesecake cottage cheese puddings like that, stuff like that. 80 calories, 12 grams of protein, 12 times 10 is 120, so that exceeds our rule. Same goes for cheeses. I'm going to show you fat-free cheddar cheese, fat-free mozzarella cheese. I use these for a lot of things. It's great. 9 grams of protein, 45 calories, so it's pretty much double the 10x rule. So if we're doing 20x, then this meets that. Now, one thing about this is it has a lot of added stuff to it that is not in normal cheese. We got natamycin, modified cornstarch, annatto, natural flavors, enzymes, salt, yeast, well, salt's normal, titanium dioxide. So if you're trying to avoid the added stuff, this here, have it like 50. It's 50% less fat. 70 calories, 8 grams of protein, spot on with the 10x rule. The ingredients are still just cheese related. It doesn't have a bunch of added stuff that's gonna take away from your cheese flavor and the ability for the cheese to melt. That stuff melts pretty well. If you want to use the fat-free cheese, especially the shredded stuff, I would recommend rinsing it first in a strainer before putting it on your pizza or whatever, and it'll melt really well. We're going down the chip aisle. There's pretty much nothing high protein related as far as chips go, so we're just gonna skip that. I did just see the beef jerky. Beef jerky is a great source of protein too. It's a lot of it has high sugar, a lot of it has high sodium content. Right now today we're just talking protein. It pretty much hits the 10x rule on point. 1 ounce would be about 90 calories and 9 grams of protein for 1 serving. That's pretty spot on. Right now we're just looking for anything that says high protein. We're gonna debunk some things here. Peanut butter can be a little dangerous. I love my peanut butter. I use peanut butter powder most of the time these days because I've acquired a taste to it. When you eat this for the first time, you're like, this is nothing like peanut butter. 1 serving, 60 calories, 6 grams of protein, spot on for the protein ratio. If you really want to, you can mix up, actually I needed some jelly today. Really want, like, mix up half peanut butter with half protein powder or half peanut butter powder to reduce the ratio a little bit as far as fat to protein. but don't be afraid of it either. Bread, there is not a lot of bread that I've seen that advertises high protein. The wraps do, so we'll get to those when we get to it. They're not in this aisle. These right here, Sara Lee Delight, 45 calories a slice. So 2 slices is 90 calories with 5 grams of protein. That's pretty much what, it's really just 2 slices because it's smaller slices. Grab a normal slice of wheat bread. Okay. Your normal average slice of wheat bread, 70 calories, 2 grams of protein. The weight of a normal slice is 28 grams. The weight of one normal slice for this is 22 grams, 45 calories. So when we add in the 6 grams of bread, it'd probably be about the same ratio. Mentally, I like getting this bread so I can make 2 peanut butter and jelly sandwiches with the peanut butter powder. Mentally, I get to eat 2 sandwiches for like 400 calories. So I enjoy that. But as far as like high protein bread options, it's really all pretty much the same. Protein bars. Protein bars I do not get a lot of. They're expensive. I don't think they're worth it. A lot of the time, sometimes they're good, especially if you're on the go and whatnot, and you need to really get in. I looked through some of these the other day. Builders, 280 calories, 20 grams of protein. Like when you're advertising protein bar, you probably don't want 9 grams of fat and that kind of ratio. That's what most of these are. Let's see, RX bars, 230 calories, 10 grams of protein. That is like half of a 10x rule. Now, these ones I did find, and I did try them yesterday. The Ready high protein, 20 grams of protein, 200 calories. So spot on with what we want as far as protein ratio. Same with these. They look like little chewy bars from the same company. I have not tried these yet, but 180 calories, 180 calories, 15 grams of protein. Again, 15 times 10, 150. So that's just 30 away from the number of calories. So that's a pretty good ratio. Now let's look at a normal chewy bar just for perspective. 150 calories, 2 grams of protein. If you want your kids to be strong, don't get them this shit on protein bars. Let's just look at 54 cents each. Comparatively, $5.48 for 10 bars, $15 for 5 bars, or $15 for 15 bars. That's about $1 a bar. This is like 50 cents a bar. So you pay an extra 50 cents for a bar. You get an extra 12 grams of protein. So don't get these and try those out if you don't want your kids to be weak, little. All right. Oh, Z bars. These are geared towards children. 150 calories, 2 grams of protein. No way. Look at this. Oh, these are Z bars protein. So these are about $1 a piece. This is $6 for 5 bars, over $1 a piece. 5 grams of protein, 130 calories. They're directed towards kids. I would go with the protein bars because this is more expensive than a protein bar and has less protein than a protein bar. There's that. You got protein packed oatmeal. These are always loaded with sugar. All of these are loaded with added sugars. So you got to watch out for those for the ratio. We got 190 calories, 12 grams of protein. Not terrible. Not really what we're going for. This peak oatmeal, 300 calories, 20 grams of protein. Added protein, but then they just added a bunch of sugar as well. If you're watching your sugar intake, 7 grams, not a bunch of sugar actually, 7 grams of protein, that's not bad. Or 7 grams of sugar, added sugar. Now, they do make now these plain oatmeals with just the protein added to it, so no added sugars, no flavors, do what you want with it. If you look at the ingredients, it's like old oats and then whey protein. You could make your own probably for cheaper if you just buy the cheap store brand oats. We're going to look at some high protein cereals here. See which one's the best. Ghost protein cereal, 170 calories, 18 grams of protein. That's spot on with our 10x rule. Special K plus high protein, 18 grams of protein, 170 calories. Those are about the same. Special K, got Special K high protein, Special K protein, 10 grams of protein, 200 calories. So that's a little worse. Well, Premier protein cereal, 20 grams of protein, 180 calories. Out of all 4 of these, I would say the Premier has the best ratio. This one has the worst. These other 2 are not bad either. Granolas are dangerous. They can be. Some granolas can be dangerous as far as trying to hit a ratio. So a normal, this doesn't say it's like high protein or whatever, normal regular granola, 230 calories, 5 grams of protein, ton of carbs, which is good. That's what you want in granola, right? Now, high protein granola, this is Quaker, 12 grams of protein, 250 calories, half of our 10x rule. Same with this Special K protein granola, 12 grams protein, 240 calories. I'm gonna slide you guys over here. We're gonna look for the best possible granola option. That was Special K. Now we have Nature Valley protein, 13 grams, 280 calories. This is the worst ratio so far. Essentially, I guess if anything has over 10 grams of protein, they can advertise it as high protein. When you're adding 8 grams of fat, the second ingredient is sugar. I mean, this tastes good, but they're not looking out for you. This one has a ton of fat. Premier, I think they won the cereal contest, 17 grams protein, 290 calories. So that is even worse ratio. Well, 17 grams protein, this one has 13 grams protein. So these two are equal in false advertisement, I guess you could say. What do we got here? We have Protein Max. Now this is 130 calories, 7 grams of protein. Only 0 added sugar. They got the fake stuff in here, don't they? Monk fruit extract. So they got the best ratio because they put the artificial sweeteners in here. If you're not afraid of that. Kind protein granola, that would be your best bet for protein granola. These guys here, these guys piss me off. Protein Pop-Tarts, don't get them, right? 380 calories, 10 grams of protein. As far as the protein 10x rule, 10 grams of protein times 10 is 100. The calorie total is 380. A normal Pop-Tart, 370 with 4 grams of protein. All they really did was add 6 grams of protein. I want to call it high protein. I mean, if you're on a 2,000 calorie diet and you have one of these, that is 25% of your day. You've only consumed 10 calories of protein. So for the rest of the day, you're going to have to eat egg whites and chicken breasts only. We went over fat-free milk, some dairy products. Now these ones, fat-free evaporated milk and the fat-free powdered milk, these are a great thing to have if you want to boost up your protein. I use these instead of like regular milk sometimes for my overnight oats because it's just more compact. It hits the 10x rule perfectly, just like the fat-free milk. It's just more condensed. A quarter cup of this, 8 grams of protein, 80 calories, and 12 carbs. Total sugars is 12 total sugars, but there's no added sugar because milk has natural sweeteners in it, natural sugars. You're able to get some sweetness, some added sweetness from these for your overnight oats and whatnot without having to add added sugars or artificial sweeteners. They hit the 10x rule perfectly. So we definitely recommend trying those out in your overnight oats or pancake mixes or whatever. Just ways to add in some extra protein without any real extra effort. Okay, bone broth is a great way to get in some extra protein too. It's a little bit more expensive, paying for the protein. Big thing of chicken broth is like $4. This little thing of bone broth is $7 or a little bit under. Now, this entire container, 4 grams of protein. This entire container, 19 grams of protein. Great way to make protein rice or add some extra protein to your sauces, mac and cheese sauces, your rice, your couscous. Use this instead of water. Great way to add protein into your diet is the bone broth. You also got the beef bone broth too, so for beef stews and whatnot. Because beef stews, they can get a little fatty if you use a lot of butter and fatty meats and whatnot. Yeah, using a lean meat for a stew and then using the beef bone broth, you can get a real good ratio for high protein stew. I was going to check out the wraps, carb wraps and whatnot. There's people in my way and I don't feel like waiting. There's carb friendly wraps and then there's protein wraps. They're pretty much the same thing and pretty much have the same protein ratio. I usually go with those. I go with the carb friendly wraps because there's no taste difference for me. A normal size, like 10-inch burrito wrap would be 220 calories and like 4 or 5 grams of protein. Carb wraps are half the calories, 110 calories. With like, some of them have 10 grams of protein. So some of them are spot on with the ratio that you're looking for. These tuna packets, I haven't really been doing like the lean meats and whatnot. These are a great addition, especially for on the go. You grab 3 of these packets, you're talking 210 calories and 45 grams of protein. That exceeds the 10x rule, pretty much times 2, protein 20x rule. How you doing? So don't sleep on tuna if you don't like it, or if you do like it, whatever. Then it's a good addition. Canned chicken, I don't ever buy because I think it's disgusting and tastes like tuna. So if I want to eat tuna, then I'll buy canned tuna. Now, protein pasta, you got your normal pasta and you got your high protein pasta. Normal pasta, 200 calories, 7 grams of protein. High protein pasta, 190 calories, 10 grams of protein. As far as the 10x rule, it's like half that, but it does help get you to a high protein meal. You take high protein pasta, you cook that with your chicken bone broth, and save that bone broth, the leftover broth, to make a sauce, a cheese sauce with low calorie cheddar cheese or whatever. And then you add some grilled chicken breast to that. Dude, you're talking like 60 grams of protein for 400 calories. Chickpea, this stuff is pretty good. 11 grams of protein, 190 calories. So around the same stuff. I only buy this stuff because I can feed this to my family. I don't notice a difference. They do notice a difference with the chickpea pasta. Can't really get away with that. Barilla protein pasta is a good way to go. Okay, Jimmy Dean, I've been seeing. I've been on the prowl for some high protein options. Jimmy Dean has been doing some good stuff. There also is some lies in here. This right here, Jimmy Dean breakfast sandwich, 510 calories for 25 grams of protein, 32 grams of fat. That is not what I'm about. Not gonna spend 25% of my calories on a frozen breakfast sandwich with that kind of ratio. Now this Jimmy Dean breakfast bowl, now this is what I was looking at yesterday. Jimmy Dean breakfast bowl, 40 grams of protein, 460 calories, still has 31 grams of fat, 40 grams of protein, 460 calories. So that is really close to the 10x rule. Pretty good ratio. And I'm not going to, I'd rather eat a bulkier breakfast, something that's not 7 ounces and 500 calories. It's not bad. This one, this is what I'm talking about. This says protein. I'm a Jimmy Dean. I like their stuff. I like what they're saying, but this is like 20 grams of protein. Excellent source of protein. It's 450 calories. So it's half the 10x rule. 34 grams of fat. I mean, it's good fats though. The first ingredient is eggs, but the third ingredient is soybean oil. Now I am less impressed. They do have the higher 40 gram protein, so those are pretty cool. Let's look at some power waffles. We got Kodiak protein waffles, Premier protein waffles, Jimmy Dean. I think this is what I liked, protein waffles. Premier, or let's go with Kodiak, 240 calories, 12 grams of protein. So that's pretty much half the 10x rule. Premier, 220 calories, 12 grams of protein. A little bit better than the Kodiak. These guys, Jimmy Dean, am I holding it up right? Yeah, Jimmy Dean killed it this time. 230 calories for 2 waffles, 20 grams of protein. So that is pretty much spot on with the protein 10x rule. If you're looking for protein waffles and you don't feel like making them yourself, then Jimmy Dean would be the way to go. Let's talk frozen chicken. I have seen these circulating online. We're gonna compare them to your normal Tyson chicken strips. Tyson, 200 calories per serving, 13 grams of protein. Real good chicken, lightly breaded, 180 calories, 23 grams of protein. Jesus, that is really good. What is this? 4 ounce serving, 3 ounce serving. You get 3 ounces here, more calories, less protein. 4 ounces here, more protein, less calories. I've seen these online. I haven't tried them yet, so I can't tell you whether or not they taste good. They have a really great protein ratio, so I would give them a shot. These fucking things, we're advertising protein, 10 grams of protein smoothie bowls. You put this in a blender, or what? You just thaw it and eat it, ready to eat. How many calories do you think that is? 330 calories, 10 grams of protein, 13 grams of fat. The second ingredient is cane sugar. Third ingredient is tapioca syrup, which is more sugar. The fourth ingredient is actual acai puree. So 300 calories for 10 grams of protein at $4. No, this is them. No, this is healthy. This is high protein. In the first three ingredients, what's the first ingredient? Tell me it's water. The first three ingredients is water and sugar. That's what you're paying $4 for. Dole protein. What do they don't advertise how much protein. It's fucked. So it advertises protein right on it. It only has 5 grams of protein, 230 calories. First three ingredients is okay. This is a little better. It's actual the acai puree, bananas, pineapple, blueberries, topping, oats, cane syrup. Okay, at least there's like 4 ingredients before they actually add the sugar. There's minimal protein, still around the same price. Excuse me. If you're looking for a high protein smoothie bowl, make one yourself. Get your whey protein powder, get your fresh fruit, your frozen fruit, some of that evaporated milk. You could have yourself a real high protein smoothie bowl without the breakdown of like $4 for 1 cup. You could make a high protein. You could make a high protein smoothie bowl for probably $1 when you break down the ingredients. Ice creams. I don't know why I'm in here. Oh, Halo Top. That's always been like a thing. Is it high protein or is it just like low calorie? 17 grams of protein for an entire container, 500 calories. Like as far as high protein, that's not up anybody's alley. I don't think, are there high protein ice creams? I don't think so. Now, frozen pizzas. These ones here, I have yet to try. I got one the other day. I just found them. Quest. These are the guys that make those protein potato chips or whatever, tortilla chips. You can eat. I like how that they advertise that you can eat the whole thing too. 650 calories, 54 grams of protein. That is a pretty good ratio, knowing that you get to eat a whole 11-ounce pizza. Now, pepperoni one, 690 calories. So 40 more calories, 56 grams of protein. Only 2 more grams of protein. What I would do is get one of these, buy yourself some turkey pepperoni, put it on yourself. I mean, you're on your way to a 800 calorie pizza with 70 grams of protein. As far as high protein, I think that is the best. What is that? The Banza, this chickpea pizza crust. This you could make your own. This crust would be 600 calories, 16 grams of protein. So that's not really worth it. Oh, I am late for work. That is it. Hopefully this helped you guys out a little bit.